to ask these questions as we move along. Thank you so much. Let's talk about focus briefly. So what's a car? Exactly. What is a car? You may have heard of like a Stirling cycle or a Carnot cycle. It's not, it just sounds similar, but it's not about the car specifically. Valve trains, maybe hub, rotor, master cylinder. Maybe you've seen some of these equations around the efficiency of the engine. You might know some weird fact about the car, like 1/3 of gas is consumed by friction going around the vehicle. You might recognize some of these diagrams here. You might recognize an engine or the wheel assembly or the Carnot cycle on the top right. You might know some of these details, and that's fantastic. If you want to dig into these details, that's terrific. But that's not what we're doing this week. So what is a car to us? It's a mode of transportation. Maybe we own it. It's recognizable worldwide, and we're focusing on the experience of actually driving, using the car, right? And actually, we do use cars without understanding everything about them. What about batteries? What's a battery? Have you heard of Helmholtz or the Gouy-Chapman double layer with Stern modifications? I don't know, cathode, anode, electrolyte, dry cell, NiCad, lithium iodine. Maybe you've heard of some of those things, or you've seen some of the chemistry equations. Did you know that metals dissolve in water about as easily as salt or sugar? But what happens is just at the surface of the metal, the charges start to build up so much that the metal pulls the water back towards it and it stops dissolving pretty quickly, actually. Here's some chemistry and some other charts, and you can see the Helmholtz layer here and what it looks like. But actually, what's a battery to us? We don't think about all these details. We think about a portable store of energy. We think about rechargeable, maybe. It's recognizable worldwide. We use them in our laptops and cameras, and we use batteries without understanding everything about batteries. Maybe you're getting the point now. So what's near? Validator partitioning and beacon chains, erasure codes, Byzantine fault-tolerant finality, and high availability. Here's some equations around the economics of near, and there's a weird fact about how developers can earn 30% of transaction fees to the contract. This is all useful information. This is all important information, but it's out. Sorry, are you asking a question? Yeah, just to remind everybody to keep your microphone muted unless you want to interrupt and ask a question, then you're more than welcome to interrupt and ask a question. That's perfectly fine. So here on the right-hand side, we can see all of these diagrams from some of our white papers and some of the write-ups that we have about how sharding works and how validators work and validator sets and so on. But actually, what is near to us? What are we going to focus on this week? It's a smart contract platform. Supports a couple of standard languages, Rust and AssemblyScript, and it's recognized as developer friendly. We can make things with it, like Paris has made here with the NFT marketplace where they sell some beautiful things. And we can and do use Near and build on Near without understanding everything. So please, for the rest of this week, I'm asking you, don't wait until you understand everything. Just start. Start making something. Try and make something simple immediately, today. Try and make something. Don't dive into consensus and economics. Wait till next week to dig into that stuff, please. Instead, focus on working examples this week. Focus on getting something built, getting something done. Don't insist on learning to write Rust either. If you don't know Rust, it's going to be very difficult to figure it out in a week. Unless you come from maybe some high performance, embedded computing background, or you've been writing C++ for years or C for years, Rust is going to be difficult to get your head around in any short amount of time. It's going to take you weeks, maybe months to learn Rust. I'm still working on it personally. Instead, focus on the best language for you. If Rust is in your comfort zone, fantastic, go for it. You may as well look at the assembly script as well. But if you're coming from JavaScript or TypeScript, as we saw in the beginning, most people are actually, then AssemblyScript is what I would recommend for you this week so that you can get productive and you don't get discouraged. And please avoid the temptation to add complexity with front-end code this week. So just focus on the contract code and writing tests, getting the contract deployed and using it. And I'll show you exactly what I mean in a couple of example applications.